Okay. Says we're streaming to Twitch. Are we streaming to Twitch? We are streaming to Twitch. And now we're just waiting for it to commence streaming to YouTube. Like that, let's say. And we're live in every location that matters. Hi, guys. So, the Steam Spring Sale and I fought it out earlier today. I lost about $40. And this will be the game we'll be playing this evening. A little bit of Rogue Trader, another RPG based in the Warhammer 40k universe. We as developers are always striving to improve our work. To do this, we need information that we can only get from you. By sending game statistics and bug reports so we can help. Since this game is based on Unity technology, we use Unity Analytics. You can opt out of data collection at any time from the settings. Game statistics, fine. Take up the mantle of a rogue trader, the scion of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade protectorate, and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodline of von Valancius as it faces multiple threats from within its own ranks and without, as countless enemies seek to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. It is up to me, hi there, to hold the reins of this shattered protectorate and forge a new path for the von Valancius dynasty, currently finding itself in a vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy. The stakes are high, and rise even higher as you cross paths with terrifyingly powerful and ambitious adversaries in the darkness of the Coronis expanse. Difficulty? Story, I'm a great big weenie. Absolutely. It did take, right? Yes, it did. Good. No, we want story. Now we'll see if it took. Yay, it took. Okay. Well, here we are anyway. Enemy to hit modifiers, half cover bonus, full cover, party momentum gain. Those are some pretty nice numbers to my advantage, I have to say. I'll take those. Because I'm not normal or daring. I'm certainly not hard. And I'm not unfair. I'm story high. Well, I think I'm going to have to create a custom character, but I'm going to look at these first. Hekata, an archetype. Imperial world with military traditions, ballistic skill and perception, feats of greatness, well, that would apply. Utilize your talents as a commander to achieve a great victory over the ruinous powers. Astra Militarum commander. Brand of Shame as the commander-in-chief of a disastrous military campaign. You are buried in shame. Wait, how can I have both? I was brilliant and then shameful. Regimental tactics and run and gun. Darius, the second individual. Death World, from a Death World, so hardy. Crime Lord. Okay. Does sound pretty good. Apex of Brilliance, you managed to corrupt an entire star system and turn it into your personal den of thieves. That does sound pretty good. But also Shadow of Torment. I was arrested and thoroughly interrogated using creative and violent mechanisms. And Barhardor, a warrior. Okay, this was an operative. We had a soldier and a warrior. Also from a Death World, a commissar of the Officio Prefectus. Ruthless officers charged with maintaining morale, discipline, etc. Illustrious Glory. And Grim Portents, the souls of all who perished in a brutal nightmare in a brutal offensive still haunt your nightmares. Let's go with custom, huh? I'm gonna go custom. Oh, I think I kind of like the fancy pseudo-French cyber outfit. Oh, a custom portrait. Oh, we can go custom here. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. We have many different faces to choose from. Bodies, hair. Oh, nice. Okay, all kinds of goodies. Let's change the portrait, though. I want a custom portrait. You can import from outside. Oh, that's quite nice. Okay, let's see. Well, let's start with the hair, because clearly that is a no. The hair color must be white. Eyebrows, those are sufficiently like mine. They need to also be white. Yep, that's as close as we're going to get. In the beard, let's see, that's not quite right. No, mine's a little more substantial than that. Don't quite have the side thingies. Do they not have a slightly more substantial goatee looking thing? We'll go with that. Oh, we have multiples. There we are. There we are. That's not quite white either. But no, that's not it. There we go. That's closer. Okay, then eyebrow colors. We also will have. There we are. That look familiar? Anyone here? No. Appearance. Ah, that looks like an old man. No. That's definitely the closest, yeah. Do I want any tats? No, I don't actually have any tattoos. I guess these are the 5 pages of them. Maybe something a little bit subtle on the arm. Augmentations. And you can have 2. Well, let's see. A little bit of, head work. Oh, I don't want it on both sides, though. That's not what I'm looking for. Yeah, on one side. We can work with one side of augmentation, I think.
You didn't stand a chance!
Lance batteries, volley!
Pragmatic male seems pretty good. My home world. Death World will get me survival instincts. Once per combat, when the wounds of a Death World character drop below 30%, they gain 20% of their maximum wounds as temporary wounds. Voidborn. Humans birthed in the belly of a void vessel. Fortune. Get extra willpower and intelligence, a little bit less strength. I think I'm going to go with Voidborn. Okay, let's see. Military Commander. Commissar. Crime Lord. Surefire Plan. At the start of combat, the Crime Lord gains plus int bonus stacks of the Surefire Plan effect. Activation of this ability consumes 1 stack. Makes the next action stronger, depending on the type of action. Crime Lord attacks. They deal 10 plus PER bonus, more damage. If they move, they gain extra dodge. That seems pretty good. Ministorum Priest. War Hymn. Navy Officer. Oh, I like the outfit. It's pretty styling. Characteristic modifiers and skill, commerce, and demolition. Demolition seems a little unlikely, but okay. Noble. High nobility. You serve me. Assigns 1 ally who will become their servant until the end of combat. Anytime the noble's abilities affect the servant gains +5. Anytime the servant attacks a target that the noble dealt damage to last turn. a Sanctioned Psyker. Sanctioned Psyker. Sanctioned Psykers have reduced 20% chances to trigger psychic phenomena. Psi rating of 0. Character's a Psyker, albeit a quite weak one. There's the thumb. Abilities, Divination, Biomancy, Telepathy. Tempting. I don't really like the Noble's special ability, though. Agility and Fellowship. I like the Commerce in this one. I'm leaning towards Crime Lord. My talents are Killing Plan. Bonus damage of a Surefire Plan is increased. Disorienting Plan. The Last Plan. Escape Plan. I've got a lot of plans. Okay, I'm going to be a former Crime Lord, or possibly still a Crime Lord, born in space. Managed to corrupt an entire scar system, turn your personal den of thieves. That is a pretty good one. Imperial Lore, Logic, Int Logic. Feat of Greatness. I prevailed in a bloody shadow war against the Void Pirates in my sector. And we also have to choose a negative. Deal with the wrong people resulted in a rise of a chaos cult and a horrific massacre of innocents. I was once arrested and they treated me badly. Choose an archetype to see a description. Let's see. Okay. Level 1, level 16, and level 36. A warrior will allow me to choose from those three. Got it. Officer. So a warrior. Not sure what that icon indicates, but we'll find out. Warriors are combatants boasting exceptional melee prowess. Ooh, melee. No, I'm not a melee kind of guy. Officers use their willpower and fellowship. Operative, intelligence, and perception. Yeah, that's definitely me. Soldier, ranged weapons, assume advantageous position. I think I'm an operative. Oh, and then this shows this sort of skill wheel we have access to. At rank 1, we have Analyze Enemies. Okay. Ultimate abilities, Dismantling Attacks. Characteristics, Intelligence and Perception, because I'm smart. Okay, I guess I already have that at rank 1, and that at rank 3. That can't be right. Those are the ones I get at those ranks. And I'll have to choose others as I rank up. Got it. And then from operative, I'll be able to choose bounty hunter, strategist, or assassin, and then eventually exemplar. Hopefully. Alright, these are our skills. We've got good logic and tech use. My carouse was lowered because of that little stint in the pen, you know? So I have 35 points I can apply. Well, I think I'm going to want... Oh, weapon skill is in all forms of close combat. Give myself some more ballistic skill. More intelligence. Perception is at perceiving things. Of course, willpower, ability to withstand the horrors of the warp. Perception. There we go. Alright, so my logic is up to 55 now. Awareness is at 50. I have a sword-class frigate. You know what I say? Frigate. Classic void ship design, proven in thousands of battles, combining decent firepower, high speed, and respectable survivability. Estimated dimensions, 1.6 kilometers in length. That's about a mile. It's a big ship. 0.3 kilometer abeam at the fins, so 300 meters, about 300 yards wide. Estimated tonnage, a lot. Number of souls, 26,000 people aboard. The Von Valancius flagship is the mightiest void ship belonging to the Von Valancius dynasty. Every system aboard this frigate has been tried and tested in innumerable engagements. Its weapons and turrets deliver hard-hitting volleys with pinpoint accuracy. Its plasma drives are rugged yet reliable in extreme conditions. The flagship's size and maneuverability are perfect for pursuing smaller, faster raiders and for hunting the countless pirates, Xenos, and heretics in the Coronos expanse. Numerous Von Valancius rogue traders have acknowledged the exceptional performance of this vehicle, and with a few minor updates, the flagship has continued to faithfully serve the Von Valancius dynasty. What is generate a random name? Oh, there we go. Lenz's luck. I am Lenz von Valancius. Outfits. I get to change the colors on my outfit. Now we're talking. How do we change it, though? Okay. I see. It's just changing, like, the collars. Or at least that's what it looks like. Alright, we'll go with that. Voidborn Crime Lord, Feet of Greatness, and the Shadow of Torment. I can analyze enemies. Gets one enemy within 10 cells from the operative. Immediately gains exploits. And a surefire plan. You can count on me for my surefire plans. Upper decks. And once again, Streamlabs is showing I have 0 viewers. I don't know if that's true or not. I checked last night. There's not a patch for the software. Why it's fucking up, I don't know. It's not making me happy, though. I'm the captain of a ship with 26,000 people aboard. A little intimidating.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? an impeccable manifestation
Conrad
of the god Emperor's
Voigtvir.
ability.
The man who's approached me is gazing into the depths of the vast temple on one of the lower decks. I'm in a dialogue. Here I can learn more about the current events, influence the character I'm speaking to, or even alter the course of the game's narrative. The character's personal story depends on the dialogue choices you make. Available dialogue boxes are displayed on the right. Select a reply by clicking the left mouse button or pressing the corresponding digit. Have we met?
Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtvir, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencius. At your
Oh,
service.
perhaps I'm not a von
I haven't had the
Valencius.
pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
Lenz Stubbs, my name is rather well known. No, my name is Lenz.
My regards, Master. Or should I say, von Valencius, scion of a blessed rogue trader house in the service of the Imperium. Perhaps this kinship came as a shock to you. Understandably so, given that all evidence of the connection was lost in the generations separating you and
I'm a
Lord
lost
Captain
scion of the
Theodora.
house.
It required
Thank
no
you for
small
letting me
effort
know.
on
I
the part
appreciate
of the
that.
ladyship's servants
That
to
you are
discover
there.
and verify
That
this
somebody's
blood
out there.
tie,
And
which
that
has
it is
now made
Streamlabs
you
is pissing me off
one of
again.
the heirs of this dynasty.
I'm one of the heirs of the dynasty. I can hover over highlighted words to learn about them. Words are highlighted when they first appear in a text. The Imperium. Okay, I know about that. Master of Whispers, tell me on whose ship I have found myself. You say I'm one of the Rogue Trader's heirs, so there's another candidate? Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here?
So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before.
Thank you,
they are
Canucket, for
henceforth
feeding the algorithm.
null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader, indeed blessed by the God Emperor. Your former position may have been different from conventional service as part of one of the institutions of the Imperium, but from now on, a different fate awaits you. One chosen for you by the Lord Captain. I advise you to come to terms with this reality as quickly as possible.
Never got into 40k because of the Grimdark. Is Warhammer Fantasy any more heroic? My understanding, yes. The good guys are actually good, and the fight is not hopeless. Although, I think the older version, current version of Warhammer is, I believe, Age of Sigmar, and the former version consisted of a world, or possibly an entire existence, where Chaos won at the end. And the entire world has, in essence, I think, been sort of recreated, and that's the Age of Sigmar, the current version, and the exact details involved, I'm not sure. As with everything with Warhammer, the lore is as deep as you want to dive into it. But Warhammer Fantasy, in particular Age of Sigmar, I think is a lot more heroic. But yeah, 40k is just utterly dark. You say I'm one of the Rogue Trader's heirs, so there's another candidate.
There is. And you will meet him soon enough.
You have a curious title. Master of Whispers. Oh, got it. What are your responsibilities?
To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I
Pardon the
eliminate
yawn.
our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
Tell me about the one on whose ship I have found myself.
I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back. Especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that her ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities. But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity.
Sounds
to
a little
speak.
bit like the
It
same
has
guy
been
who
an
did the
arduous
voice work
voyage thus
in
far.
BG3 of the Vampire.
The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
By right of blood, the rogue trader Theodora von Valencius desires to personally meet with the person recently brought on board. Move your character by a left mouse button. Change point of view using WASD or the arrow keys. Rotate the camera using Q or E or the mouse wheel. Got it.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Interactable objects. Some objects in the game can be interacted with. They are marked with specific icons. Some icons allow you to study objects. Others will transfer the character to a neighboring location or launch a small event. Events become visible when your character is standing close enough to them. Click left mouse button on the icon to perform the associated action. Some interactive objects such as doors and chests are not always marked with icons, but the cursor changes when you hover over them. Hover over the cursor object. Change it. Hold tab to highlight all objects. Presumably the chair. Yep. There's a crew officer under the table? Oh, sitting at the table. Okay, I got it. A massive conference table, obviously crafted from real wood, a resource of incredible value aboard a starship, a void ship. Yep. Engineer, technocrat. Show the data on the vid screen. The sacred mechanism has been interfered with without due reverence. The duration of the data processing cycle has tripled. Incomprehensible information displayed on a large screen above the cogitators. You can make out references to unfamiliar systems and worlds among the numbers and logisticar stuffs. Presumably. Massive conference table. We've got people all over the place. That's a crew officer, Oh, okay, that's... Well, where did... Noble guest... Worker, where did, oh, down here. That's me. Crew officers, where did the guy I was following go? Oh, there he is. Conrad. Saving, good. This is me here, the picture. I am ping 260 by 336.
Miscalculations are for commoners. I don't make mistakes. I make profitable learning experiences.
That's very nice, Conrad. I'm glad to hear it. All right, that's my pistol shot. And a reload. Evidently, I'm supposed to go... Yep, here we are. That is one fine-looking individual on the left there.
One of the Von Valencius trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
That can't be good.
The servitors have gone berserk!
Is there a problem?
To arms!
Quest updated by Rite of Blood. Couldn't see the other one. You've been ambushed. The battle starts. To survive the grim darkness of the far future, you'll have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. These hints and tutorials will familiarize you with the combat system Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Click the button at the top of the screen to start the battle. No. No. Ah, there. So let's see. I'm here. Crazy, looks like a human who's been cyberneticized and wants to hurt people. Possibly even me. Alright, we've been ambushed. He missed. Malfunctioning servitor. Did not miss. Twice. Okay, movement and combat. All battles are turn-based, take place on a grid. Turn character can move, attack, and use their abilities. Select a cell within the highlighted area and double-click on LMB to move. Movement points determine how far a character can move on their turn. 1 MP corresponds to a cell. Moving diagonally is more costly. Every second diagonal cell uses 2. That's because the square root of 2 is 1.414. And therefore, 2.828 is a bit clumsy, so every other one will be 3 total. Because it's close to 2.828. Got it? Just math. See? My character's smart. At the beginning of each turn, moving points are restored. Note that once a character starts moving, this action can no longer be cancelled. Well, let's see. So I have 3 movement points, and this is showing me how many points it's using. So I'm going to step over here. And let's see, I can, to make attacks and use abilities, expand action points. Oh, okay. Totals displayed on the panel at the bottom of the screen. Every ability or attack has a certain AP cost. The number of squares next to the icon is the costs and abilities. Got it. To attack first, click left mouse button on the single shot icon and hover the cursor over the enemy. A tooltip will appear showing your chances of hitting the enemy and the possible damage you can cause. The amount of damage your character deals depend on the parameters. The weapon they're using, the effectiveness of the shot depends on the distance between the character and when you target. With a single shot, you see 2 areas denoting the weapon's effective and maximum firing ranges. Certain abilities in the game are considered attack actions and can only be used once per turn unless affected by specific talents. Okay. We click on that. We're going to shoot him. Looks like I have a 50% chance.
On it.
Hit him. Good solid hit. A palpable hit. Other actions and ending your turn. When you're ready to end your turn, press space or click the end turn button at the bottom right of the screen. Got it. Wow, they both do 1 point each. They're just not very good with their weapons compared to, say, me. Alright, that probably hurt a bit. Conrad. Analyze enemies. Joint analysis. Surefire plan. Start a combat. Crime Lord gains 4 stacks of the Surefire plan. Crime Lord attacks. They deal plus 14% more damage. They move. You gain extra dodge and parry. I don't think that guy can reach me this turn. But I'm going to make sure he can't by moving a little further away. And then shooting him.
I'll make it happen. You never stood a chance.
I can scarcely believe it on a
What
day like this.
suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan.
Destroy the out-of-control servitor. Talk to Theodora von Valancius. Spread out, no one allowed to enter the premises. Stations!
I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
Pardon the yawn? You can open your map using M to orient yourself. I have no idea what that's just going to change my field of view. Oh, okay. It's moving me. Got it. Where the hell am I? Oh, okay, I see. Alright, yep. You came in through here, and where's where we are right now. Got it, alright. The wires in the servitor's head are still smoldering. It would seem the cause of this malfunction was a short-circuiting of the motive force. Tarantula sentry gun, constructed with the blessing of the Adeptus Mechanicus using a standard template. I wish those wouldn't disappear quite so fast. Construct in Manufactorums of Chiava Gamma. That's actually really quite annoying. Lehman Ruth's battle tank, reclaimed and restored by the grace of the God Emperor, first to breach the capital walls during the pacification of Vortes Chthon. Or Chiton.
I always have a backup plan.
Crew officer. Really? Am I going the right way? I have no idea. It is not particularly informative on these matters. Let's see, what do we got? Inventory. A gun. And clothes. Character. Yep, we've seen all that stuff. I'm level 1. Journal. Talk to Theodora von Valancius. On the officer's deck. Upper decks. Okay, I see I'm over here. But it doesn't really tell me where I'm supposed to be going.
Keep your wits about you.
Evidently this was the right way.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
The man is dressed in a peculiar garb, his voice tight with tension, his face, half of which is covered by sin skin, twisted in a grimace of displeasure and disbelief.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad?
I'm going to listen in silence.
While you are considering your answer, Edelthrad, I wish to speak with someone else. Perhaps I shall hear something more interesting than incoherent mumbling.
She's sweet.
Approach.
What is this? Is this someone from your retinue, Theodora? Do you permit your people to interrupt your conversations in such a fashion?
This is Ethelthrad.
I give that permission to those with something of substance to say. Let us see if it was worth it. This is the second candidate for the title of my successor. Step forward.
So this must be the other individual.
Consider this hypothetical situation.
Oh.
Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
Yeah, my character's skills reflect their knowledge and capability. Some dialogues automatically initiate passive skill tests. If such a test succeeds, new information will be revealed. A hidden dialogue option will unlock. If your character is traveling with allies, the party members with the highest score in the applicable skill is selected for each test. So I succeeded. I passed on lore on Xenos and lore on the Warp. And that has given me a couple of extra answers that I otherwise would not have. Those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify that is indeed the case. And if the population of Aeon 6 engages in Xeno worship, there are ways to confirm whether or not what happened on Aeon 6 is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so, but it would give us the answer. That's the Warp. My particular life experiences are any indication, some of the natives would eagerly betray their chieftains in exchange for a quiet life serving on board my ship. I would then leave dealing with Aeon 6 to those who know it best. These reports of spirits certainly sound like evidence of heresy. However, I would put my interest first, no matter what means I would use to the riches of Aeon 6 would be mine. Aeon 6 must be purged for the good of the Imperium. I shall exterminate the heretical beliefs and otherworldly... I don't know. No, I like the Xenos answer. Those spirits could well be natives named for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that's indeed the case, and if the population of Aeon 6 engages in Xeno worship.
Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor.
Continue.
Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence.
I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, is still more than you could do. We're both servants of the God Emperor and Lady Theodora. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds? I find your tone most disagreeable, Ethelthrad. You will kindly alter the manner in which you address me, or you will live to regret it regret the consequences. Shut your mouth, Ethelthred, before I decide to shut it for you. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was more than you could do, Ethelthrad.
Insolent, ignorant upstart. How dare you?
Neener, boo-boo.
Ethelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
Burn!
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
Wow. What a transparent suck-up. Well, I'm going to kick his ass. Probably kill him. Just saying. That's probably what's going to happen.
So, why are you here?
Was it not you who sent for me? There are questions that I wish to have answered. I do not know just yet. I hope you'll clarify that.
You have ceded the opening that was offered to you in a woeful display of meekness.
Wow.
Admittedly, this tendency is equally strong in all who toil in the Emperor's service.
Okay.
Immutable hierarchy, absolute obedience.
Yes, well, I didn't realize more was expected from me in life until like 5 minutes ago.
From the moment my envoys came for you, the terms of your existence changed. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris.
Okay.
I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity.
Nice for you.
And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all.
Is that whole thing your title?
It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon. Resources, people, riches, and mysteries is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
One of. I mean, there are other heirs.
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them.
Pleasure.
Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. Bloodright alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
Right, I don't like any of those. If you're satisfied with Edelthred and what senses they're having means, why are you wasting your time on me? Did I hear you correctly? Thank you for clarifying. May I ask questions now?
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
What are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
An incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomouths were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle
Abelard.
rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me.
That's hearsay, not
Adira
heresy.
eagerly retells me
Two
everything
things.
she
Very
learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
Where are we headed?
The Rycat system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence.
Hey, Knob Knox, how you doing?
I set the course for Rykard on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
I have no more questions.
In that case, I shall head to...
That sounds like screaming.
Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
Doing fine for the most part. Got me some apple cider and an interesting stream to watch. Oh, well, okay, well, I hope you'll be fine over there. I'll try to get on and be okay over here on my own. So, enjoy the other one. See what I did there? Sort of a reversal of expectations and... Never mind. Quite the party you have here.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
I have been ambushed. The battle begins. Yeah, it was pretty obvious. All combatants act in turns, and their orders determined by an initiative roll. The order of turns is displayed on the left side of the screen from bottom to top. Character at the very bottom goes first, and the one above them, and so on. Got it. So Theodora is first. I'm here. That's her. We've got heretic cutthroats. We have lots of heretic cutthroats. We have lots and lots of heretic cutthroats. But hey, I do not regret it. 50 plus minutes, that's a long tutorial. I think we're probably still in it. We had one fight earlier. Alright, Theodora has buffed us all and taken cover.
Battles than this in my time.
Abelard
Reduced to dust.
kills two of them with a single shot. Okay. And then another.
Follow my lead.
And then there's Mort.
Death to the heretics.
Okay. Two of them are now ashes.
The ruinous power.
A little bit of damage.
Out of my way.
He missed me. Okay. Cover. Use cover to avoid enemy attacks. Cover that a character can hide behind is marked with a shield, or a shield with a skull. When standing close to them, a character will automatically take up an advantageous position. In this case, the chance that enemy attacks will hit the cover, and not the character. Character will not receive bonus if attacked from the side, not protected by the current cover. Right, so I should move behind the cover.
Don't let your guard down.
Let's see, what are my options? One enemy creature within a 20-cell radius. Analyze. The operative targets one enemy within. The target immediately gains +3 exploits. I assume that's a negative. That's a debuff. And the other is Surefire Plan. That's a passive, and it's already running. Let's go ahead and shoot at somebody. This guy already moved, so he must have already done his firing. I have a 95% chance to do 12 to 19 on him.
Your end was inevitable.
I performed 500 critical hits with my party members. Say what? I just got an achieve for 500 critical hits with my party members. That's my second shot. Evidently that first shot, or the second shot, went through and through and hit another 499 people. Pretty good. Just landed a critical hit. Deals increased damage equal to the character's critical damage stat. Character's critical damage is 150% of the normal damage by default. However, certain talents, effects, and abilities can increase it. Each weapon has its own critical damage stat, which is added to the character's total stat during attack. Gotcha. That's the end of my turn. I've gotten my one attack off. Heretic Cutthroat. Shooting, looks like that missed. Abelard takes a hit. And a miss.
Death to non-believers.
Death to non-believers. Abelard parries. Another shot and miss, seemingly. Theodora.
For the Imperium!
My took care of this one.
Abelard is a freaking beat
Stay
stick.
vigilant, for the glory of the Imperium.
And these heretic cutthroats
My great word.
seem to have chosen poorly. Achievement detection. Yeah, well, that was a Steam achievement, so Steam issue. My character has received a temporary positive effect from an ally. Such effects enhance your character's capabilities in combat in some way. To learn more about the effect you've gained, hover over the cursor over your character's icon. So, that. Momentum. A special combat resource required. So when you guys are I understand from reading about this, when you're fighting, if things are going well, momentum builds up and they get better, and that allows you to take on bigger and uglier fights. 76% chance, 56% chance. Out of sight or range, so we'll take our 76% chance.
It's as good as done.
I shot the wall. She dodged. Abelard taking a little more damage. She vaporizes another one.
Tactically sound approach.
Abelard's got like 6 kills.
Reduced to dust.
7 kills. Those were not the smartest of heretics we've ever seen.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive.
That's not fair. You don't know that all of their mothers were whores. I'll grant you that most probably were whores.
Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
What are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Let's see. Game auto-saved. Abelard, check the latest communications. Where did Abelard go? We saw him go this way. Where exactly did Abelard go? I know where I am. Where did Abelard go? Oh, Abelard.
Is there money to be made?
Deck Enforcer. What do we have here? More cutthroats. Do we have Abelard anywhere visible? I wish they gave us information on, like, where I'm supposed to go. Let's see. What was the? That's the character journal. Find the Arch-Militant on the officer's deck. It's under attack by unknown enemy. And sadly, this doesn't seem to have a legend. Exit. So I'm there. I think he went up there, but I'm not sure. So this is the kind of thing I tend to find really annoying. Because when I'm not given sufficient information to do what the game is expecting me to do. I think he's went this way. Oh, Mort areas. It wasn't Abelard, it was Mort, I guess. Mort, good work. There's Mort.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Kunrad. Portrait's that proud of their size. You mean my PNG? Yeah. I was trying to select one, and I clicked on it, and it opened up a window that allows you to, I think, use any picture you want. And so I tried to close it, and that's what I got.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, hold yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
Mommy's angry.
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only Voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
Okay, a mutiny, but who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp? A mutiny against the Emperor's anointed. Execute the traitors, every last one of them. We must provide immediate assistance, those still in the middle decks. Perhaps we might stop this wave from spreading. If this is indeed a severe case of warp madness, then the situation is dire. I like answers 1 and 3. I'm going to go with 3.
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once.
Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the war could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
Now she's glancing at me thoughtfully.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of a house as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psyker powers.
A psyker, huh? Find the Arch-Militant, discover the whereabouts of Edelthrad, the
Then
heir.
it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him.
This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge.
Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
I hear and obey, Lord Captain.
Then move out! Mort, come.
All right. We're off. Rather badly off, some would say.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
I shall make do. I have a proposition since I'm the more important person here. You go first. That seems like an unwise thing to say. You'd better not fail me. The Lord Captain made it clear that relying on you is fraught with risk. I'll make do. Either way.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hits me in the abdomen and I'm consumed by unbearable gut-wrenching pain. So he's the traitor. I promised you a special destiny, Lens. It is time to fulfill it. It's going to be a really short game. I'm going to be sacrificed. I hope it's Slaanesh of the Ruinous Powers. Burst attacks are harder to dodge. Well, yeah, I guess a burst from a submachine gun would be tougher to dodge than a single shot from a pistol, say. But perhaps not as tough as a single shot from a laser, moving at the whole light speed thing. All right, who do we have here? Kunrad Voitvir and a whole bunch of heretic cutthroats. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. It might be fine. I'm screwed.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
You're very partial to Slaanesh as the main bad guy, as it's normally always Nurgle for the zombies. Well, yeah, Nurgle's got a bunch of very simple critters to fight against. They can animate a bunch of them. They run anywhere from, a bunch of little Nurglings all the way up to the big honkers. A little tougher to do with Khorne or Tzeentch. Personally, I would like Tzeentch. I think Tzeentch is cool. On sale right now, on the Steam sale, is Chaos Bane, I think, which is a Warhammer, not 40k, a Warhammer ARPG that I actually liked, but I think I'm in the minority on. It generally was not that well received. I've played it through a couple of times, and I actually liked it. And it's cheap, so if you're an ARPG player, also they might have a sale on the Warhammer 40k ARPG, Inquisitor Martyr, which I've played a lot, I've streamed a fair amount, and I really enjoy. So that's a couple of ARPG possibilities. Played a lot of Martyr. Yeah, I really liked Martyr a lot. Careful, careful. Okay, Voitvir, you two-faced scum. You're the one behind this mayhem.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself.
Killing him's going to be entertaining. I'm going to enjoy that.
We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
Let's see, why are you doing this? What is it? Inbred? Your blood is too thin for the Sentinel? I have no intention of helping you. I'll help you as long as you spare my life. Will you let me join you? We can take the warrant from Theodora together. I like the inbred line.
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Von Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
Okay, amongst the standard responses are, why are you doing this? I have no intention of helping you. I'll help you as long as you spare my life. Will you let me join you? We can take. But I have succeeded on my coercion check. What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy, you sordid, wretched piece of grok shit? I'm going with that one.
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind.
Okay. Do you really not know what the ruinous powers do to people who overreach? And you sound like a born overreacher.
Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench Von Valencius watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
The blade flashes in the dim light and drops of blood appear on my palm. For a brief moment, I feel nauseous. My head is spinning and quiet whispers begin to flood my mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge to go to the gate. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Fight the voice in my head. I will do as you require, but I will find a way to make you pay for this. Enough threats. I will comply with your demands. Get out. I am not your puppet. The voices in my head giggle and mock my desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing me onto my feet and making me take a step toward the gates looming in the center of the chamber. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. Welcome to those of you who are not familiar with the Warhammer 40k universe. That's right. Lobotomize a human, stick a computer in there, and it becomes a machine. The sentinel turns its head to you, and one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. And its eye sockets. And one of its eye sockets with two irises. Interesting. Skill tests in dialogues. One of the available dialogue options requires making a skill test. Unlike the passive tests, which are made automatically, in this case, you can decide it. Pardon me. I have a tech use 45 possibility, and I'm going to use that to examine the device. I have succeeded. Carefully inspect the design of the gate. Of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches my eye is the strange alloy that was used as a material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. I gained 20 XP. The servitor on the gate begins to move with the screeching and groaning of metal. It leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaws open with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a human being. This is not nightmare fuel at all. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. It's the Matrix. A whisper runs through my consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled my head after Voigtveer wounded me with the blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of my mind. Examine the sentinel. Place my hand into the sentinel's maw, look back, look for anything that could be used as a weapon. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. You search in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or a protruding piece of rebar in sight. Well, I've already examined it. I'll look back.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
I suggest you take a flying leap off the end of my... Never mind. The servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you're used to. Its skin, covering stitched together with copper thread, and has metal hinges in the place of standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. Well, the only thing I've got left is to put my hand into its mouth. The jaws clamp around my hand, puncturing my skin and sinking into my flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass, with my arm being chomped on by a mechanical head, as I am going to be sacrificed to the ruinous powers. It's a little long. The sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you're beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You do not understand where the quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the sentinel, the cogitator? Is it a figment of my weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. I must have lost my mind. I suppose this is the onset of warp madness they warned me about. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through my head and subsides just as quickly. That would seem the entity coiled in my consciousness does not have the ability to do me any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
There is still another way.
Oh, he is teleported? By right of blood, check the warrant chambers. To the journal. Warrant chambers opened its doors for the dynasty heir. It is time to make sure the sacred warrant of trade is safe. I like the sound of that. The enormous gates match the importance of the thing they protect. The massive doors are made of heavy metal and look impregnable. Valancius, and that must be the family crest. My mother's family had a quartered family crest. I don't remember what were in these three quarters, but this quarter was the Swedish Royal Arms. I'm of noble Swedish blood. Feel free to be hugely amused.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
That must be the warrant of trade there. What am I supposed to do in here again? Warrant. It's time to make sure the sacred warrant of warrant of trade is safe. Well,
Let us not dawdle.
let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade and bestow upon them and their dynasty the great mission to be a paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely, first into darkness, to unite and reclaim that which was lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns, and then missed the last line there. But I'm sure it was very nice.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
Let's see, what madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me? Well, I assume it's a servo skull. So, I assume it's some mechanized thing. I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora. I need a weapon. I would like a weapon.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
It's not going to answer. I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I'm trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
Things are not going optimally. What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warrant Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
Alright, lead me away from
Middle
here.
and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, Preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing a received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
As the game's story unfolds, you'll see notifications at the top of the screen indicating that the status of your current objective has been updated and that new information has been added to your journal. You open a journal by hitting J. Journal entries help you keep track of current events and guide your character on their journey. The Quests tab tracks the progress of main story, where you can find information about blah, 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 rumors and contracts. Sections also contain important information. Learn about them later. The Great Mission. Enormous gate. Seal the warrant chamber. Close the door. Abelard.
What? Whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this?
Conrad Voigtveer is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something. He was trying to reach the warrant when he was part of that plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny.
Good guess.
Bandmaster, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Formir Seneschal. Why don't we leave matters of etiquette for another time?
Absolutely. With the Lord Captain's permission, I shall give you an hour-long lecture on how making use of proper addresses corresponds to showing due faith in the God Emperor's anointed. For now, however, we have more pressing matters on our hands. You're in a bad way.
Uh-huh.
I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Weapon. I got a sniper rifle, an armored body glove. He just happened to carry spares, and a medkit. Alright. Find a weapon. Accept Abelard's aid while fighting. Your character can lose some of their wounds. While fighting, can lose some of your wounds. Your character has suffered an injury after being attacked by Kunrad. This happens when a character receives damage that exceeds 50% of their maximum wounds within one round. The exact percentage of wounds a character must lose for this to happen will depend on the difficulty of the game you choose. Injuries reduce the character's resolve. When a character initially suffers an injury, it's considered a fresh injury. During the first 3 rounds, once 3 rounds pass, a French injury becomes an old injury. A French injury, fresh injury, not French, fresh. Although, a French injury would be pretty fresh too. Can be healed using a medikit without passing any skill test. Old injuries can be healed with a medikit, but they require a character administering the treatment to pass a Medicare, I guess? Skill test to succeed. Once the combat is over, the wounds of a party member are replenished automatically, but any injuries they may have sustained remain. Those can be healed with a medkit. Medkits can only be used by a character who have the field medic feature. Base skill Med-K will then have taken Med-K skill advancement at least once. Whenever a character uses a medkit in battle, Med-K skill test determines the number of wounds that will be restored. I've got new items added in my inventory. You can open it by clicking I or clicking on the bag icon on the side. To equip new weapons or armor, open your inventory from I, double-click LMB on the button, on the item. Wow, my mouth works sometimes. Alternatively, you can hold LMB and drag. To view the parameters on the item, hover your cursor over or right mouse click. You can switch between party members using arrows at the top of the inventory screen. Item descriptions contain comparisons with any blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're going to equip the sniper rifle. If I had a rifle. Armored body glove, 15% armor. Wearing this armor will dodge 35% of the average enemy attacks in this chapter. Armor reduces incoming damage of the average enemy attack by 10%. Can't be equipped by this character. I don't have Medicae, or Field Medic, or Base Skill Medicae. What is my current health at? But Abelard can use it on me, right? We equip it on him. Oh, he already has one. Well, now he has two. We'll hold on to this one for ourselves. Let's see, it contains cataplasm, patches, antiseptic, synthetic skin, also removes bleeding. I'm at 20 hit points, so I'm fine. But I now have a sniper rifle. I can do a deadeye shot or a regular shot. Single shot does 12 to 16. That also does 12 to 16. They both have the same armor penetration. One creature hit chance is 95, 47. Single shot with equipped ranged weapon. Precisely aimed shot with a 50% bonus to the effective range and a 10% hit chance. Plus 10%.
Your seneschal is always there for you.
It's nice to have my seneschal always there. Where are we going? The abduction has taken its toll on the heir. Seneschal Abelard has offered medical assistance. Accepting it would be a wise choice. We're on Abelard, I guess. F1.
Let's patch you up. I'll make sure to return the favor one day.
He patched me up. I have an old injury, stack 1 of 20. Duration is permanent. Injury that wasn't healed in time, but can be healed with a medikit. Requires passing a Medicae. Too many characters. Okay, that didn't appear to actually do anything. Brace for impact. And charge.
Let me help.
I owe you a debt.
Alright, I've got the... But it doesn't seem to be removing the state.
Let's patch you up.
There we
That
go.
is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead.
Right. And, our lady in charge is talking about, I have your Lord Captain, whose house each of you swore to serve till your last breath. May your souls never lose fervor and fire and bolster your hatred for the enemies of the Imperium.
The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on.
Well, it seems like your Lord Captain has managed to be Lord Captain over a catastrophe.
But that is not the worst of it. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the Navigator and the Master Helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the Navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
The Navigator Sanctum, very well. Will you lead the way? And that's bad, right? Yeah, well, you have these generators, the Geller generators, that keep the insanity of the warp at bay inside the shield that they provide. And if that were to fall, the chaos of the warp would overwhelm us all instantly, converting us into either gibbering worshippers or possibly buckets of protoplasm. So, could be worse.
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
Let us proceed.
Loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
Well, I'm revved up to fight now.
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. while the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved.
And a ship that size, 26,000 people, has multiple people certified to navigate naturally. Maybe? The whole navigating through space is kind of difficult because the Emperor, who's really actually dead, but somehow still keeps this beacon of psychic power up that allows us all to navigate, means you've got to have sort of psychic sensitive people able to, steer, and they feed thousands or millions, thousands I think, of psychers every day to keep the Emperor's existence continuing in its current state of dead but not entirely. It's complicated. My money's on no. Oh, and they're back.
Close ranks.
Surrender to the dark powers.
Tactical points. Combat begins with the tactical phase, during which characters cannot attack or take other actions, but may try to take up advantageous positions. Select a character by clicking left mouse button on their portrait at the top of the screen, then LMB on the cell you want the character to move to. Red cells are inaccessible. During the tactical phase, each character in the party may move up to their maximum movement points, but cannot position themselves adjacent to an enemy. So, I think I'm up first. I don't see awesome cover anywhere. But a little bit of cover is better than none, right? Oh, it's got to be in the green. That looks like it's got some cover. And Abelard, does he have a gun out or a sword? I can't make it out. Abelard. That looks sword-like. So Abelard is going to charge, because that's what I thought. I mean, he carved the living crap out of a whole lot of enemies. So cover me. Abilities. Combat abilities of characters differ depending on their archetypes. Available abilities are located at the bottom right of the screen. The abilities panel. Read the full description. RMB or hover. LMB on the icon to use. Before the ability is used, get to review the estimated outcome by hovering. You'll see an area of effect. Have a number displayed, noting the probability of successful affected. The ability's effect is guaranteed to work. The ability's icon is displayed instead of a number. During your adventures, your characters will gain new abilities, and so on and so forth. So who's up first? It appears that me is. Deadeye shot costs 2 AP. Single shot costs 1 AP. It looks like I've got... Well, let's go ahead and take... That's a 95 Heretic Cutthroat.
Another enemy down.
Operative targets one enemy. Gain 3 exploits. An exploit. If an operative hits the target with an exploit attack, the attack deals extra damage. Okay, so got it. But that's it for my combat. I can only have the one attack. Abelard's abilities. Your new companion is a warrior. Abelard specializes in melee combat and drawing the enemy's attacks. Charge is a unique warrior ability that works only when they're using a melee weapon, not considered an attack action. Use charge to close the distance between you and the enemy to deal damage. Click LMB on the ability's icon. Choose the direction to charge in. If the enemy's in the direct path, Abelard will attack them and still be able to attack later. Charge can only use the characters 2 or more cells away. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have moved them all that way then. This character is using a melee weapon. Melee attacks require a character to be adjacent to the enemy. Make a melee attack. Left mouse button on the ability, then on the enemy you wish to attack. Unlike single shot, melee attacks hit automatically with no need for a roll. The enemy will try to dodge. Melee weapons can be used to make area attacks. All creatures in the area will suffer damage unless they succeed a dodge test. Oh, okay, let's see. Charge.
Someone else can do this.
Okay, how about that?
At your beck and call. One fewer target.
Attack of opportunity. Characters with melee weapons can make an attack of opportunity if an opponent in an adjacent cell initiates movement. It can also be triggered by some abilities. All characters with melee weapons, including members of your party, can make attacks of opportunity. Chance to hit and deal damage calculated like a normal attack. So let's see. That is a cleave, but I don't have enough people around to cleave, so I will instead just strike him.
Indeed. Reduce to dust.
I have reduced him to dust. Brace for impact for 1 round. The Navy officer and their allies in a 3-cell gain +2 deflection, each archetype taken by the Navy officer. Well, I think we just... Oops. We're just gonna...
Death to the weak! Chaos guides me!
Parry. Be careful, your companions can get hurt by your burst of shots for area attacks.
Out of my way!
Oh, like that guy was kind enough to do, making our job just a little bit easier. To avoid friendly fire, keep an eye on the trajectory of shots. Got it. I'm going to analyze him as an enemy. He's a heretic cutthroat. And now I'm going to shoot him.
Your end was inevitable.
Extremely dead. And Abelard, would you like to finish off that last little fellow there? I'm sure
Victory is one fewer target.
he'll enjoy it. Victory! I can advance the level of my character and companions. Prevailing in battles, exploring the Coronis Expanse, and completing quests earns you experience points. Once you've accumulated enough experience, your character gains a new level. Click on the arrows symbol on a character's portrait to open up the level up screen. Each level gained offers your character's progression options, which include new abilities, talents, skills, improvements, and other enhancements. Your companions gain new levels at the same time as your character, even if they're not included in the active party during your journeys. You can always increase their level later. We both leveled up. We're just that awesome, guys. All right. Here I am. That's one fine-looking rogue trader to be. Okay, I leveled up. Character level, current experience, required to the next, okay. Weapons and skills. That's my inventory, weapon, armor. Oh, those are all the inventory options. Got it. Weapons and skills. Right. That's Abelard. And he leveled up as well. And we can have 2 sets of weapons, or at least we'll be able to in the future at some point. Outfit settings. So that's me. And my PNG, which is, of course, winning. There we are. Okay. Archetypes. Click to view archetype details. Oh, okay. Rank 2. Available skills. That's the only skill that's available. Oh, I get to choose the skill. Well, that seems good. Tech use, logic, awareness, lore Imperium, lore Xenos, Medicae. At this archetype rank, it is possible to increase character skills. The higher the skill score, the easier it'll be to pass. I guess these are the ones I have successfully used and can level up, I think, because I did use tech use and I did use logic. Available skills, logic. How do I lock that in somehow? Closing the interface will reset the choices you've made. No, I actually want to make them stick. How do I do that? Expand. New ranks. Logic. Archetype divine. You've selected all upgrades. Click complete. I don't see complete. Click complete. I see back. I see. Oh, apply. Okay. Yeah. That's it for me. And for Abelard, athletics, carouse, coercion, demolition. Carouse affects the toughness to resist negative states. Yeah, we'll give him a carouse. Why not? Okay, I think that's it. Let's hit J and see where we are. Reach the Navigator Sanctum is our next objective.
I always have a backup plan.
Our ship. Oh, it'll be our ship. It's not our ship yet, clearly. It belongs to her lady's ship, the captain. Here's a map of your void ship. Consists of several parts between which you can travel. Some parts are not yet available, but over time your character will be able to access them. Click left mouse on the active part to move there. Got it. Navigator Sanctum would be. We were in the warrant chamber. We're off to the Navigator Sanctum. The game has auto-saved.
The Navigator Sanctum is directly along the passageway. I pray to the God Emperor that we are not too late.
That's a psyker. And she just turned that guy into giblets.
And so, he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate.
Cool.
Master, watch your head.
Why?
Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once?
You like
That
the cut of her
was
jib?
too close.
Her jib does seem pretty well cut so far.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing!
You see, if you're a psyker in the Empire, they do testing, and most fail, and they get fed to the Emperor. To become a functioning psyker within the Empire is the tiniest of minorities, and they're mostly very well founded in sanity and rational thought and totally not bonkers. He is dead. And yet, one of the things he did was he maintained this psychic beacon that allowed space travel through the warp. And it's still there, even though his body is essentially a corpse. So there's some tiny little spark of existence still in there, keeping the light on. And to make sure it stays that way, they have to feed it psychics. Lots of psychics. We're the good guys, by the way. Because frankly, we're better than just about everyone else. And that's why things are grimdark.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valencius. Medira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it?
I know the answer to this
I
one.
have no answer.
Taylor Swift. The entity in my consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper and claws, scraping against the walls of my mind as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. A diviner, are you?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud.
If these are the good guys, the other factions must be amazingly malevolent. Generally, yes. There is part of the elvish race is sort of doomed and they know it and trying to find a way out. The other part, which turned into the dark elves, they represent the faction of the elves that, through boredom, being eternal, took to games of violence and sex and sort of accidentally fuck-murdered a god into existence. That's one of the 4 ruinous powers, the dark gods. That's Slaanesh. But there are a faction of the Eldari, the elves, that are trying to hold back the chaos in their own way. We don't always fight against them. Generally, most of the rest of the powers around are far worse than we are.
And you are Fon Valancius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet.
There are a couple that are kind of sane, although strange, and the Empire considers them as Xenos, or aliens, and therefore inherently dangerous. Now, the funny thing about this is, even though he is worshipped as the God Emperor, back before the whole treasonous war that led to him becoming the corpse god that he sort of is, he actually explicitly went out of his way to punish and disincentivize any worship of him as divine. And that's kind of where the real irony is that he, who was very, despite his incredible superhuman powers, was specifically human and didn't want any sort of mysticism or cultural worship of him as a divine being at all, has become, through his more or less absence and death, has become elevated to, in essence, the state god.
Officers frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officers' deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officers' deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
This is the company that lost the lawsuit over the generic term Space Marine, right? You are correct. That is why they are now called the Adeptus Astartes. That's why the elves are called the Eldari, Aeldari, instead of Eldar. And the Drukhari, the Dark Elves. Basically, they renamed all of that stuff to stuff that they could trademark. Yeah. They are extraordinarily efficient, our Games Workshop, at extracting money from the players who enjoy their games. Extraordinarily. One of the things they do is they're very free with the license for computer games. And so, historically, Warhammer and Warhammer 40k computer games have a reputation for being poor, which is one of the things that actually makes the good ones particularly beloved by the fans because there are so many bad ones out there. As an example, they recently brought out a technically capable but soulless game as sort of an RTS game. It was an Age of Sigmar game. I can't remember the name of it. Came out maybe 6 months ago and was not well received. That's one thing. Generally, the fans of Warhammer and Warhammer 40k are not forgiving on the games that disappoint them. I'll also note that if you look up here on the wall, next to the Imperial emblem here, we've got blood running down the walls. So, that ain't great. What did I do that brought up the warp? There's something about the warp that was brought up. And it vanished immediately. Okay, we'll continue.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
What are you doing here?
The whispers called me.
Yeah, you could stop
the
with the
ones I could make
creepy
out
laughing.
along
Oh, look,
screams
blood
and
pouring down the walls.
screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Enginseer Prime is...
Kaput?
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
We must see if the Navigator is well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin?
Yeah, I thought it was
The eyes
you.
watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity.
You are not really much of a morale picker-upper.
But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet,
Not just yet.
I must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
Right up until our skin is peeled off our faces. Well written if creepy vibes is what they're going for. Yeah, that's kind of, generally speaking, the lore stuff and everything is very effective. That's one thing the game does very well. Historically, and the various and sundry bits and pieces. I for instance, Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr, the ARPG, I have played a lot. It's really nicely done. I guess your least liked faction would be the Tyranids. I just find them a little bit uninteresting. The Tyranids are, well, theoretically, they're beasts. There's some evidence of intelligence with them, I understand. And, you know, big, really ugly-looking beasts are less interesting than things like the Necrons, who sold their souls to a dark god for immortality, and the immortality is like an endless nightmare of them stuck in steel boxes. It's... the Tyranids are a very large, extraordinarily hostile sort of animal-like race. Tyranids have queens with agency. Okay. Maybe that's... I mean, I was relating sort of the point of view that was presented probably in Warhammer, in Inquisitor Martyr, and so they wouldn't know all the details, but it certainly would make sense that the queens are... Yes, like the bugs from Starship Troopers. I would say that's a pretty good analogy, Kanaka. That was sort of what I was searching for. They direct the whole invasion fleet with psychic powers, right? Yeah, sort of a hive mind, and at the top is the queen, who is sort of the whole hive mind. Let's see, there's the Necrons, the orcs, of course, inescapably orcs. They didn't do much with the dwarves in 40K, as far as I know. Idira has joined my party, which now consists of several characters. To select one character, click LMB on their portrait. Select multiple characters, click and drag. Good old click and drag. But the fun things, they're not from our galaxy, and they're fleeing something much worse from their own galaxy. I may have heard that, but certainly I didn't remember it. Piece of pipe left a noticeable dent in the floor. Yes, I suppose it did. All right, we're all together now. And Idira, a psyker in Theodora von Valencia's service, speaks of ill omens related to the navigator's fate. The warp guide must be protected at all costs. So I guess we're going in here. Hurry, destroy this field. Don't keep our master waiting. So let's see, what do we have? Heretics, heretics, heretics. I was Necron player back in the day. Gen 1 and 2 Necrons before they made them space clowns a la Nagash 2nd edition fantasy figurine. Well, that's... I would say, in my experience, which is relatively limited, most big fans of Games Workshop and their various stuff have a love-hate relationship with them. All right, me first. I will take cover. Idira will also take cover. Abelard is going to move up a little so that he can charge and... oh, nope. Idira there. Abelard... there. Let's start the battle. Like the faceless evil, the Hitchcockian nightmare that you yourself had to realize when they made them individuals with a lot of color. More like Tomb Kings from Fantasy. I did like the Tomb Kings in the Fantasy. I haven't played much of Warhammer Fantasy stuff. More a setting than a culture. Click on any accessible cell to place a character's hologram there. Oh, hologram. I have a hologram. I can use a hologram to gauge the effectiveness of your intended actions in combat before taking them. But, hey, that's 20 years ago. Well, yeah. And Lord knows they've churned out a lot of chaff ever since. Let's see. Click Light LMB on any accessible cell to place the character's hologram there. Select mobility in a single shot attack to see the expected outcome. The outcome will be displayed as if used from the hologram's location to let you assess whether you've picked an effective location. Okay. Actually started and managed Sweden's second largest tabletop club. Nice. Well, your bona fides, I think, are pretty intact. %. I'm going to take him out.
Who if not me? Another enemy down.
Let's see. I will Analyze enemy on him.
I'll see to it personally.
So that next turn I'll be able to more decisively pop him. Next up is Abelard. Oh, I guess I have to hit space. Idira's abilities. Idira is a psyker and an operative. As an operative, she can study opponents and identify their weaknesses. That's what I just did because I'm an operative too. And her psyker abilities allow her to deal damage to them. Analyze enemies is an operative ability, which applies an exploit effect to all enemies in the operative's line of sight at the start of each operative's turn. The operative can also use the ability against a specific intelligence bonus. Higher their intelligence bonus is whenever operative hits a target with an exploit applied to them, the target deals additional damage. Exposed weakness is an operative effect. Right. Idira is armed with a special staff that allows Psyker to unleash psychic powers against enemies. In the future, you'll encounter staves that only a Psyker versed in a certain discipline can use. For example, you might find a staff that lets a Psyker use Inferno, but to do so they must first have the Pyromancy psychic discipline. Fave game was Battlefleet Gothic. I do have it. I played it just a little, though. Alright, Idira is up. She's got an axe that she can strike, or a lightning arc. Chains to 4 targets. There's a psychic shriek. Deals 7 to 16. Does he have only 1 hit point? Is that accurate? That can't be accurate. 6 hit points. 1 hit point. 1 friendly creature. Increases the target's dodge and parry. Deals 7 to 16. Analyze enemies. And this is hit chance. Cools down. Chains up to 4 targets. Dealing Psyker's staff. Power level times Psy. Okay, well, we'll just... Well, why not just...
On it. What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Okay, that worked pretty well.
Here we go. My ears are ringing.
Let's see. Can I charge and reach him? Doesn't look like it. Can I charge and reach him? That target is too far. This target's not too far, so I can charge.
Reduced to dust.
I can reduce him to dust. Can I move still? I think so. Apparently not.
That's not the Seneschal's job.
Action point. I used that. So I have no movement left, so I think it's in space. We're back to me. I have a 95% chance I'm going to air him out.
Was inevitable.
There we go. Vespiatus, the creature in the chair, appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see a pink parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the 2 dark gill-like slits in its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, and the 2 ordinary eyes, as well as the 3rd one that sits in the center of its forehead. That paints a picture. I guess slightly like the navigators in Dune.
I believe Master Vespiatus still lives.
Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp.
Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Address Idira. What's wrong with him?
Wounded. Exhausted. Fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one.
I'll go with the fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that forced its way into its head. That sounds like more fun.
Your time is
short.
He stirs, barely able to lift his head and half open his normal eyes. A dark drop rolls from under the closed lid of the third eye and down his face, leaving behind a black trail. Well, that sounds like, the guy's exposed to dealing with the sort of the voice of Mr. Darkness. That's the name, Mr. Darkness, in The Fifth Element. Your time is short. The voice is coming from the Vox grill at the base of the bizarre chair. It's unclear how the navigator is able to produce human speech. Our time is short to do what?
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Probably not actually his normal voice. Suddenly, the navigator's body starts thrashing in place. It lurches forward, then falls back in the seat, then thrusts forward again as its bones crack and its skin tears open. However, the fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than the wild impetuses, and the mutant remains seated but leans far forward as he can, his layered raiment slowly turning crimson. The gill slits burst open, forming two hideous, screaming mouth-like pits. Party hard!
It came from beyond! His body is not his!
Idira's scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the navigator succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes.
Yeah.
Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with millions of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me.
Yeah, I'm betting it's not salvation. 3-1. 5-1. The navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling, but then his fit stops abruptly. His face is drenched in black and crimson. The dark ooze from under his third eyelid has turned from a trickle into a stream mixed with the blood coming from his nose, and there's a purplish swelling around his eye. Wouldn't it just be myriad words, not myriads of words? I believe you can go with myriads. I think it sort of implies different sort of buckets of words. A myriad of words would sort of... I have a sense of it being a stream of conversation, and myriads of words would be different buckets of things that he wants to say. But I'm not positive. Also, he's chaos. Grammar may be secondary.
I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
Address Abelard. The navigator is still alive, but barely so. What do we do now?
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the Servo Skull relayed to us earlier.
Vespidas, good luck. And thank you.
The navigator does not give a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids, and the Vox at the base of the chair is bellowing out static interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. We talked to the navigator, all right. The navigator appears dead. Only the slight movement of his chest and twitching of his eyelids let you know that he's still clinging to life. Next up, make it to the meeting with the heir. Servo Skull from the Warrant Chambers relayed Edelthrad's message. The heir is alive and gathering people loyal to the dynasty to storm the bridge. It's vital to make it to this meeting, unite forces with Edelthrad's and confront Kunrad. That's the metal pipe. You fight selflessly and lower not your bloodied arms till the last foe of humankind is slain. That's a plan, okay. I am down with that plan. Locked door.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Okay, that's a locked door.
Is there money to be made?
We headed to the officer's deck. Is that where we want to go? I guess. I think so. Collecting loot. Defeated enemies have no further need. Their former belongings you can discover. Oh. Okay, to inventory. A couple of axes. Sanctioned Psyker or unsanctioned Psyker. A couple of axes. Scrappy auto guns. Oh, those are... Actually, those look like crappy auto guns to me. %, of melee weaponry cargo. Trophy stored here will be stored in the cargo. Okay, well, throw it all in the cargo for now. Oh, I see. Cargo, cargo list, cargo. Oh, okay, I got it. Now I understand. Trophies were stacked in cargo. We're off to the officer's deck. They've got nice elevators. That's a really, really nice elevator.
Your ship's as good as ours. It's all over for you.
Or possibly not.
I shall pity not your enemies. I shall heed
Argenta.
not their pleas.
Somebody shoot these men.
I shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My God, my light, my emperor.
Sororitas? Likes this Argenta, do you? The white-haired warrior turns to face you, her dark eyes blazing, the weapon quivers in her hand, and for a brief moment it seems that she's not going to stop, and will instead continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with me.
Sister Argenta! Sister Argenta, it is a
The sister of battle, the Sororitas.
We require all the forces we can muster.
Your face, it is unfamiliar. Who are you?
Reciting scripture while slaughtering our enemies. More of this, please. Lens von Valentius, the Lord Captain's heir.
The hour is dark and daunting. Ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the archenemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the dark forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know, why are you here?
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers.
Formerly
Elvis
esteemed.
Radier is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that.
Seneschal is right. There's no time for talk. I'm no traitor, sister. You can be sure of that.
If you speak truthfully, the Emperor will not forsake you.
The Emperor of mankind.
If you are lying, you will not escape his retribution.
The guide, the ruler, the higher power which humanity offers their prayers for aid and deliverance. Most would be driven mad with despair if they knew the truth. There you go. You see?
I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic.
I have some imperial lore, and so I have succeeded on a passive check. What is a warrior of the Adeptus Sororitas doing aboard a rogue trader ship? Your orders serve the ecclesiarchy, do they not?
Sister Argenta is a guest of the Lord Captain, and that story deserves its own time and conversation, under more appropriate circumstances.
Enough idle chatter. I am where I must be, and that will suffice.
What's happening on the officer's deck?
Massacre, my lord. And heretics are not just killing the crew. Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming about seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes.
Whoever wrote her needs a raise.
Be on your guard.
We must get to the main hall of the deck.
Through this door. I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a Technomat with us. But we'll see what we can do without one.
As someone who worked in IT for decades, making a mess of cables is villainy. Pure and simple. And I'm okay with letting the sister air them out.
Good to hear it. Sister?
Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness.
Okay, sure. Through fire and was darkness, was it? The door is closed, but the lock looks intact. It can probably be opened with the right tool. Does anyone have the right tool for that?
Keep your wits about you.
Anyone have the right tool for that? Anyone? Is that the way we want to go? I don't know. I think so, but I'm not sure. What is that? Oh, loot. Well, clearly we should, you know. Okay. There we are. I guess when we leave, we get the option for loot. Door's closed. The lock looks intact. Can probably be opened with the right tool. Okay, well, who's got the right
I'm
tool?
restless.
She's got single shot and she has burst fire. Let's see. She's got healing meds. Healing meds. Healing meds. Healing meds. So, let's see. Check the journal. Silver Skull from the Warrant Chamber has relayed Ethelthrad's message. The air is alive. People gathering crew need more powerful weapons for the coming battle. Maybe something suitable can be found in the officer's deck. I'm guessing that is the armory. She enjoys her work, which is important. Oh, doesn't look like we can actually go in there. Where is everybody?
What advice do you seek?
We're all
Should I
piled up.
divine our next step?
The Emperor sets my path.
I'm sure he does, which is good for you. Door's closed. The lock looks intact. Could probably open with the right tool. Overseer. I have a talk option with him. Covering your back, your lordship. Won't let anyone get through. Crew member. Hope the heretics don't send reinforcements. Deck enforcer, deck enforcer. We have a body here that we can loot. The explosion blasted a hole through the door large enough for a person to get through. But we can't get through. We'll put a save here just to be on the safe side.
I always have a backup plan.
Let's see. So we all just have Medicaid. I can't use mine. He can use his. She can't use hers. She can use hers. So, features, reputation, skills. How am I supposed to open the damn door? Explosion drafted to the hole. Maybe I'm not supposed to open it. Maybe we're just supposed to head this way? I doubt it. I don't think we can open it. Oh, we got a box. Goods. Creative Trank Injectors, Maglev Impeller, Salvage Omniprocessor, and a shipment of glow sticks. The door will not move an inch. It's blocked. Okay, so that was the loot there.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
God damn it. Why can't I move? Okay, so that was that doorway. Can we go back here? That's the elevator we came in. So I'm guessing no.
I always keep my options open.
It looks like we're supposed to go in here. We got more goods here. Okay, well then. Auxiliary plasma, banks, tox dispenser model. And that is a well-maintained sniper rifle. It's slightly better than the one I've got. Trophies were packed as cargo. You receive new, more efficient weapon. To upgrade, drag it in. You can either hold, yeah. You'll find and purchase new equipment often in your travels. Right. Yeah, this one is just going to do, at the top end, an extra point of damage. That's the less good one. Now I can open it. Couldn't open it before. Okay, J. Crew need more powerful weapons in the coming battle. Maybe something suitable can be found on the officer's deck. Let's see. Undaunted by enemies of humanity, what do we got? Oh, we got more heretics. Got more heretics, guys.
Is there money to your demise is already calculated.
All of you will bleed!
That's the sister. Adira can go there. I can go there. The sister, well, I'm pretty sure she's going to want to, you know, shoot a lot of people. And Abelard, he's going to want to sword a shitload of people. Start the battle. Adira is up first. Let's go ahead and see if she can do that that nifty electrical trick she has, and bzzzt a bunch of people.
Anything else?
That worked out okay. What do we have here? Move closer. Okay, well, that'll wait. All right, we've got... That's it for Adira. Next up is one of the heretics. He missed. That was a poor decision on his part. Oh, a parry? Seriously? Well, how about a cleave then? Character just missed. To increase the hit chance, equip your character with a decent weapon. Abilities and talents, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
It will be done. I took care of this one.
Sure did. More of them are coming.
Death to non-believers!
Argenta's abilities. Argenta is the warrior from the Adeptus Sororitas and a soldier. She is expert with burst ranged weapons and weapons that deal combat in an area. Another of Argenta's strength is her mobility in combat. Run and gun is a unique soldier ability. Using it grants the soldier extra movement points and reduces the cost of their next attack by -1. Wait, it reduces it by -1? Does that mean it increases it? Math. Soldier will suffer a -10 penalty to their ballistic skill for this attack. Run and gun also allows the soldier to perform an additional attack with one ranged weapon, which is a handy tool if you want to make more than one attack on their turn. Revel in Slaughter is a soldier ability which can be used once for each 3 enemies the soldier kills in a single battle. Each activation of this ability increases the soldier's ballistic skill, critical hit, critical damage, lasts until the end of combat. Certain types of weapons let you make burst attacks, unlike single shot. Burst fire requires you to select a direction rather than a specific target. Burst attacks are particularly effective against clusters of enemies. Be careful, burst shots can also hit allies. Well, I think I can manage to not do that. Or can I? I don't. That hits him. How about... Oh, that hits him, I think. Doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Looks like it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't. So she can hit them. Oh, I guess. And he's in the clear, so yeah.
That is not the Emperor's will.
No line of sight. Okay. Then how about if we give her a run and gun?
I'll do it.
To move over to here. Oh, that was not what I wanted at all. That's disappointing. I'm disappointed. I don't suppose I have another attack, do I? I do. 55, 55, 65.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
And she missed. A lot of bad guys going now.
Death to the weak.
You missed.
Chaos guides me.
Historically, I always like to make sure I hit.
The ruinous powers.
I always like to make sure I hit when I do those sort of commands and the like. Types of cover. Full and partial cover give you opportunity to avoid. Full cover, indicated by a skull on the shield, reduces the chance to be hit by 60%, partial by 35%. Some cover can be destroyed by melee attacks, area attacks, and other abilities. Destructible cover has a durability bar over it. Single shot can penetrate through any cover. The Sororitas is back up again. No, this is me. This is me. This is me. $95, 81. Let's take it.
On it. Never stood a chance.
They never stood a chance. Idira is back up. She'll move to there.
I know what is to come.
And she knows what is to come. And let's go ahead and have her bust Abelard. Buff.
No can do.
Abelard. No can do. Why no can do? Too far away? 2, 4, 5. Yeah, I guess too far away. One creature within a 12-cell radius. Analyze enemies. So she's got no one within 12 cells? Yeah, it looks like it. Alright, her move's
Out of my way!
Parry. Okay. Abelard. Let's see. He can move to there. He missed his auto attack.
I'm not interested.
Oh, it's too far.
Someone else can do this.
Okay, I didn't move him to the right location.
My place is at the fore. One fewer turns.
True. Right, she can move to there.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Which is, you know, that's nice for her. 65, 65.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
He didn't die.
I am your doom.
Oh.
Death to non-believers!
It's not that we don't believe in the ruinous powers. We believe in them. We're just not going to worship them. Another 95.
I'll see to it personally.
I will see to it personally. Lens don't miss. Alright, Idira.
Cover me.
And this guy has only one hit point left. The Psychic Shriek should do it.
Gone.
He had one hit point left. I think 14 is enough to kill him. Abelard. He's too close. Yep. So, just move. No. Yeah, that one.
I took care of this one.
Yes, I took care of this one. And Argenta, I think there's just one of them left. Argenta? no. Okay.
Faith shields me.
I didn't realize he was still there. That's my bad.
I will not.
Okay.
Such is the will of chaos.
I got the range on him. 95.
It's as good as done. Your end was inevitable.
I'm pretty good with that. There, I want to shout at him again. I took care of him. I think that's all of them, isn't it? Yep, I think so. An exact replica of the Von Valencius void ship sits on a pedestal, labels indicating main compartments and decks of the vessel. We're currently on. Me? There was something over here, but it's gone now. Open the door. Get on the floor. A scrappy auto gun. Sure. Trophies packed up as cargo. Let's see. Go back to me.
I know how to take risks.
And I think we head out this way.
Keep your wits about you.
Skill test and interaction with the environment. To open a jammed door, click on the icon. A character with the highest tech use will make the skill test. If this test fails, the door will remain closed. A particularly bad result of a tech use test can cause it to become permanently stuck and impossible to open. Logic, 100%. D100 system. Your character is about to make a tech use skill. In dialogue and during exploration, you'll often have to make various skill tests, and the result might determine how successful your character's efforts are to make hidden dialogue options appear. Reveal new information. The success of the test is determined by rolling a D100 die. Each skill test has a difficulty up to 100, including negative values. To succeed, you must roll a value equal to or less than the sum, both the stated difficult. For example, you are attempting a test with a difficulty of -10. Your character's tech use is 40. 40 minus 10 is 30. Therefore, I have to roll 30 or less. The higher the skill score. Yeah. Okay. We opened a door.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Everybody want to come with me? Everyone, you want to come with me, please. Okay, everybody come with me.
I always have a backup plan.
I always have a backup plan. We've got purity seal wax bottles, Catechism of St. Drusus, plastic crystal cores, and a couple more servo skull anti-gravic impellers.
I'm at your service.
More goods to inventory. Operator's gloves, so I would like those. And melt-a-charge. Explosive device suitable for eliminating flimsy obstacles. Where are we off to next, guys?
The sooner we start.
Everybody, please. Everybody come with me. Sometimes you guys are just so not hip and with it. Where to next? Make it to the meeting with the air. Servo skull, da-da-da-da. Crew more powerful, yeah, okay. There we go. Blow the door up with demolition. Key available 3, required 1.
The Emperor favors me today.
We leveled up. All of us. Archetype details. Next up is expose weakness. Operative removes all exploits from the target, decreasing the target's dodge, parry, and armor by 10 per until the start of the operatives. If this reduces the target's armor to 0, their operative removes only half of the exploits from the target. And he's going to get Endure. Until the warrior's next turn, all incoming damage is reduced by his toughness bonus over 2. Idira, our crazy girl. Available skill. For her, Lore Warp. Let's give her some Warp lore. And she gets exposed weakness. And Sister Argenta. Demolition. Revel in Slaughter is her new skill. Of course it is. Soldier immediately removes the winded effect until the end of combat. The soldier gains the following. Ballistic skill becomes available after the soldier kills 3 enemies. The kill counter is not reset between rounds. Alright. I'm going to save here. And I'm going to call it an evening right here. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I don't know how many of them do the dinosaur and have a great evening. Oh, somebody got my reference. I don't know how many of you are out there because, sadly, Streamlabs for the 3rd night in a row is not correctly indicating any number of viewers at all. But I want to thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you're enjoying the game. I'll be back at it tomorrow, I expect, at my usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe. Again, thanks for watching. So far, game seems pretty good. A couple minor frustrations, but I'm easily frustrated, so that's not a bunch. And that's going to be it. The Steam Spring Sale is going on, and for those of you who are fans of Epic Games, their game sale's on, and I think they might also be on at Good Old Games. A lot of game sales on, so if there's any games you've been wanting to buy, it'd at least be a good time to browse around and see if the price is at your sweet spot. I should be back tomorrow. I hope the rest of your Friday night... Holy crap, is it actually Friday night? It is actually Friday night. Holy crap. I hope the rest of your Friday night goes great, and I require you to all have awesome weekends. Okay? Just keep that in mind, that I'll be disappointed if you don't. I'll be back tomorrow, usual time. Hopefully you'll see me soon. Have a great night tonight. Take care, and ciao for now. Good night, guys.